Well, hello, Tom Brown Bears. This is Miss Garcia, your ELAR instructor. I was just wanted to real quickly go over our work for Monday. You're going to need your Study Sync textbook if you opted for paper packets. If not, you would do all of this online. If for some reason you're not able to get online to annotate, I know the annotation was a little difficult for us to understand as teachers, how they're wanting you to click on something to annotate, because I know we've done it in class before where I've showed you where you click on a word and you can annotate on a word, but if you cannot do that, as long as you read your text for the week, this Helen Keller poem is going to be for 4 days, and then on Friday we'll have a different text. You can always write your annotations on a sheet of paper, because those of you who do have packets will have this available. And if you have me online and you write your annotations on a sheet of paper, if you could take a picture of that and then upload it to me, to either email or through Remind. That way I can have your assignment turned in. Assignments the assignments that we give are going to be a record of your engagement in the activities daily. Today's activity shouldn't take us more than 20 minutes to complete. It is something that we've been doing for a few weeks before spring break, but I will refresh the instruction to make sure that we know what you're doing. Okay, so we're going to start with the reading of the introduction. You're going to read the introduction on page 0, and then you're going to read the poem as on page 1. It's a 12-line poem titled Helen Keller. It is written by Langston Hughes in 1931. You're going to read page 0, read the text on page 1, and as you read, we're going to answer the big question of what surprised me. So to refresh your memory, this is the big question prompt for today. Today and the next 2 days, you will have a big question asked, and you would have to annotate on your text or on a sheet of paper or online. So you're going to annotate at least 2 things that were surprising or that stood out to you as you read this poem. So here, as you see my text, I went ahead and I just wrote the sentence stems of I was surprised when, and then you're gonna write what surprised you, and then I never thought, and then you finish your sentence, completing your 2 things that were surprising or that stood out to you. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to identify rhyming words in the poem, and then you're going to circle them. And notice how and y'all know me, I do everything in different colors. That way it just stands out, and to me it'll help me show you. Helps me show you that I add something every day when we do our annotations and we answer the big questions, knowing that we always get something new every day. So with one color or with a pencil, the first day you can do your answer the 2 big questions, that surprised you, and then this says circle the rhyming words. You're going to look for rhyming words in the poem, and you're going to circle them, and then you can ask yourself, how did these rhyming words contribute to the rhythm of the poem? That's the second thing on your assignment. And then the third thing is to look for words, phrases that repeat. So for example, I did find a word that repeated through the poem, and I underlined them. So notice how I took that same colored pen that I wrote my answers to the big question for today, and I went ahead and I underlined the 2 words that were repeated. And then after you underline those words, or it could be a phrase, how do these repeated words, phrases contribute to the overall meaning of the poem. So why did she repeat the word she, or I'm sorry, he? Langston Hughes was male. Why did he repeat the word she in this poem? So you would write your answer, your annotations, in anywhere where you have blank space, or you, of course, if you're the online, if you want something that's paper, write it on your sheet of paper for that day. And then, of course, you would, of course, have to go look at your assignment. I cannot access the Study Sync currently, but once you go access the Study Sync, you're going to click onto the assignment that you've been assigned, and you're going to answer any questions that were asked on that. I don't remember. No, I think this is all we have for this one. I take that back. I'm sorry. It's not until I'm getting confused with the next week. Scratch that. So today, Monday, all you're doing is you're reading the introduction. This is a recap. So reading the introduction, reading the poem, and you're asking and answering at least 2 big surprises. The big question of what surprised me. And then the second thing is to identify rhyming words, circle them, and give me an answer to how do these rhyming words contribute to the rhythm of the poem. And then lastly, you're going to word for any words or phrases that repeat. And I gave you an example of one of the words that repeated in this poem. And then how did that contribute to the overall meaning of the poem? So, what was he trying to get across when he repeated that word or phrase? So again, we're reading Helen Keller, a poem of Helen Keller. It is 12 lines. Please read that. It's a short poem. This shouldn't take you more than 20 minutes to complete. Again, check your Canvas daily. I may have announcements or conferences scheduled, or even any discussion. I'm still waiting for a lot of you to answer the prompt that I added to Canvas. It was just titled, Tell Me Something Good. I had 3 students respond. Thank you very much to you 3 who did respond. And I'm hoping to hear from more of you. Again, please make sure that you are getting back with me and responding, because this will it's going to count for attendance. For attendance reasons, I have to give a report of who is engaging in these assignments and who is not. So I will be calling throughout the week. I'm going to really try hard to touch base, first of all, with everyone who has the paper packets. I'm going to try to call other students if I have time throughout my day and throughout the week, calling a little bit of you at a time just to check, or we can just get into a discussion on Canvas. I'll ask you a question, just respond with your answer through that as well. So again, this is just Monday's activity for English. I hope that everyone is staying safe and practicing our social distancing and practicing our stay-at-home status that we are to follow, that the city has given us to do. Any questions, just let me know through email. Your parents can get through to me through Remind. Tell your friends, your classmates that, to check in with me, check your Canvas. Oh, and one more thing, please. I know I make my son read an AR test every day, at least one story every day. If you have library books or books at home, read them. You can get on MyOn to read an AR test. Anything that's on your level, okay? Anything that interests you. All right, so that's all I have for today. I will get back with you for Tuesday's activity real soon. Have a good day. Blessings.